Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game So today I got another fun and exciting episode for you guys today because we're taking a look at the recently released Mother 2 Deluxe version 3.0. And if Mother 2 doesn't sound familiar, this is just the Super Nintendo Earthbound by its Japanese name. And if you played the game before, if you've never played the game before, Deluxe 3.0 is going to be absolutely amazing. And if Earthbound is one of your favorite games, but it's been some years since you played it and you haven't checked out the Deluxe version of the game, you were in for an absolute treat. It improves so many things, changes up the difficulty, rebalances things, and even has a bunch of new secrets and things to discover that will make this feel both like a familiar playthrough as well as a brand new playthrough of Earthbound for the first time. And you're going to see we have a lot of different difficulty modifiers here as well. But I absolutely love Earthbound as well as Mother 3, the translation that we got, since we never got that back in North America. But it's one of those things, fans go into these games because they love them so much and basically try to fix things that they thought were broken in the original release while also expanding on basically everything else. That is just always something so fun to me, that fans are dedicated enough to try to keep a franchise alive that clearly Nintendo has forgotten about, because there have not been any mentions of a new Earthbound game in forever. It really seems to be the type of thing that Nintendo is just done with and is never going to come back to again. And even though my goal for life is somehow to find Earthbound 64 and be able to actually play that on the channel, at this point in time, who knows if it's ever actually even out there. So in the meantime, we have projects like this which have reached 3.0 status that basically give you a brand new Earthbound experience in a game that is so familiar to all of us. But right off the top, there's going to be a lot of rebalancing that is going to make this game a little bit fairer to play in my opinion. And I'm not showing you all of the secret things that are going to be in the game, all of the new content, because if you haven't played this before, I want you to go in and discover that amongst yourselves. I'm sure you'll see a few things here that don't look familiar, but otherwise I'm keeping a lot of the secrets spoiler free, because it really is hard to be able to redo a game and make it feel like you're getting that first time playthrough. Just think of all those games from back in the day or even recently that you fell in love with the first time you played them. You got to learn the plot, experience the game, and kind of just decide it was one of your favorite games. You cannot really recapture that first gameplay experience no matter what you try. And even though I played Grim Fandango like a dozen times in my life because I love that game so much, I'd still love to be able to erase the memory of playing that from my brain and get to experience it for the first time again. Something like Mother 2 Deluxe version 3.0 is as close as you can get to being able to do something like that in real life. No, it's not going to wipe your memories of playing the game before, but it is going to be different enough where you really feel like you're playing a version of the game you've never seen, and that's because that's exactly what this is. But again, it's going to follow basically the same story beats, but it's going to tie together the games a little bit differently, and it is going to have some additional content. But leave me a comment down below and you tell me, have you ever played Earthbound before, and if so, what did you think? I've played all three games. The most recent one, I replayed Earthbound in like 2021 or so playing this Deluxe 3.0 version, this really does feel like about as fresh of an experience as you can get. And I've definitely talked about Mother 3 and the English translation on the channel more than once. If you've never played that one as well, absolutely go out and do so. And if you're wondering how you can play this, you can play it on real Super Nintendo hardware with a flash cart. You can play it via software emulation. You can play it on Mr. FPJ like we're playing it here. And if you are going to do a new playthrough of Earthbound, or Mother 2 if you want to call it that, you can definitely make this one the de facto version you play, because I just think it is a better version of the game. And it is interesting that they kept the Mother 2 title versus Earthbound. I'm sure that will trip a few people up. But honestly, the combat could be an area in the original Earthbound where sometimes it felt a little bit unfair, unbalanced, where we just basically try to screw you over, take you in the back alley, mug you, and leave you for dead. That's definitely going to be adjusted here, so if that was one of your frustrations trying to play through Earthbound, I could totally understand that, and it's definitely going to be a lot better now. And that really does allow for more people to enjoy the game, especially if they didn't actually play it back in the day and are trying to play it in 2025. Some of the balancing I feel can be a little bit weird, but other than that, like I said, it's really the additional stuff in this game that's going to absolutely hook you in and make you want to play it more, including the soundtrack, which definitely is one of the best things ever put to a Super Nintendo cartridge in my opinion. So we're moving into soundtrack sample 1, but come back because I got a lot more to tell you about this one. Okay, so I know when I say it's one of the best soundtracks on Super Nintendo, that's going to be a divisive thing. I absolutely love just how weird it is, but I know for some people that's going to turn them off. Now, on the battle mechanics, some battles are going to be a little bit harder or a little bit trickier for you to actually deal with because some of the bosses and enemies are not going to be more intelligent, be able to deal with those status ailments that are on them and not just basically ignore them, because sometimes you can absolutely get what feels like a free win because a boss or other enemy just realized that they had no idea what they were doing and wouldn't really actually effectively try to combat you. That is definitely going to be much improved in this version. Additionally, there's going to be some new sprites and artwork as well, and different structures to how the game plays out. And again, I totally understand that I'm trying to keep the best parts for you to discover if you haven't played this one, so I'm kind of just telling you a little bit around the edges of what's going to be happening without spoiling all of the new content. But trust me, it is absolutely wild what people do with games like this, and it really just does show how big of a fan base there is out there for something like Earthbound and how much it would be great to get another game in the series. Just give us Super Nintendo 16-bit style graphics on Switch 2, and I think that would sell an absolute metric crap ton of copies. But then again, I'm not in the accounting department at Nintendo, so maybe they've already done the research and they found that I'm completely wrong on this one. But this, again, is just something that I love to talk about on the channel. There's so many amazing games out there that have just been kept alive longer for fans by fans, and this is the type of thing, again, if you've never played Earthbound before, this should be the de facto way you play the game. It's so intelligently thought out, you're going to get so many new things, and you're still going to get that sensation of discovery in Earthbound, and I wish I had still had my copy. I had the big box back in the day. I have absolutely no idea what happened to it, honestly. Maybe I traded it in at EB Games or something, which was absolutely a stupid move now because that thing would be worth a metric crap ton. But to try to compel you into playing Mother 2 Deluxe a little bit more, do sentences like new dungeons have anything that interests you? That is kind of the thing, like I said, I am hiding here. This expands upon Earthbound in so many incredible ways, and honestly, the mod team has done an amazing job because it kind of feels like something that would have been done back in this game's release, because sometimes in ROM hacks you can definitely see where the actual developer content ends and where the fan content starts, and you can kind of see that total mismatch on how it kind of makes sense and kind of doesn't. But here in Mother 2 Deluxe, you'd have absolutely no idea that anything about the game was different from its original design intent if you've never played the game before. And if you have played the game before, you'll start noticing areas or things that seem different, and you'll be excited to experience them for the first time. That is how good this is. It really does feel like a Mother 2 or Earthbound experience for the first time, even if it's your 10th or 12th time playing. One more soundtrack sample because, again, I insist, it's some of the best music ever made for Super Nintendo, and I'll be right back to talk about it a bit more. Just leave me a comment down below and you tell me, are you on my team when it comes to talking about how good the music is in Earthbound and Super Nintendo, or are you completely the opposite and wonder why they went so weird with it? Because it is one of those things, it's going to be divisive, there isn't going to be any agreement on it. You're either going to really love the music or you're really going to hate it. And I kind of feel like that's Earthbound in general. Yes, it is a JRPG, yes, it's one of the best ones ever made on Super Nintendo in my opinion, but I totally understand that maybe the theming, maybe the weirdness of something like Earthbound or Mother 2 just don't hit for you. And this version of the game is not going to change your opinion if you feel like this game wasn't for you the first time you played. But if it's been some years and you weren't quite sure, I recommend definitely checking this one out. Give it some time, give it some hours, and I guarantee you're in for an absolute treat. And honestly, if you don't enjoy it that much, the only thing you've lost is time. The weird thing is about this one, the ROM patch is not really out there. It's hard to find as a link, so I can't leave it down below because the version I use is basically just pre-patched. And if I left you that link, Nintendo or YouTube or both would absolutely nail my ass to the wall 7 days a week and twice on Sundays. But like I said, if you know how to use Google, I'm sure you will be okay. But definitely check out Mother 2 Deluxe version 3.0. It's every bit as good as the original Earthbound and so much better in so many amazing ways, and so many ways that I didn't want to spoil in the video. But we're done. Go play this one. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.